أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي آمين يا رب العالمين. Assalamu alaikum everyone. I hope all of you are doing great. Today inshallah we are going to wind up the lesson about negative sentences, and this is the last one about the emphasized negatives too. So we have already done how to make regular negative sentences, then we also did how to provide stress, put stress in a sentence, in a negative sentence, by the help of three formations. So we had ma illa formation, then we had the la nasra formation, and we also had the ma hum bi mu'minin, for example, uh, formation. All right, so this is something that we have already covered in lessons 8a and 8b. Now we are going to address the last part of that negative, uh, emphasized negatives, and they are some special words and some combos that we should know. Okay, all right, so as you can see we have done this entire thing. Okay, we have done this portion, then we did different formations, the la nasra, the absolute disinfectant or the all possibility eliminator formation, then we did the absolutely not formation, then we did the nothing but lies formation. Okay, now in this lesson we are going to study some combos and some special words. Okay, this is what we're going to study now. So um let's see, first of all we have lan, lama, lam. All right, then we have kalla and bala. Okay, so we'll be studying these five first, and then we'll be studying the combos: alaisa, alam, ala, halla, lata, allah. All right, so let's study their examples and the usages. Our first word is kalla. All right, now it has two usages that you should be aware of at this moment. First one is that it's used to threaten or taunt. Okay, and the second one is negation of the previously mentioned statement. All right, so for threatening or taunting you are going to use words such as no way or nay, which is very commonly used. All right, or beware, watch it. Okay, that's what you're going to use for threatening or taunting. So for example, you are going to find this word quite commonly in the Musaf actually. Okay, so for example, kalla sanaktubu ma yaqulu. All right, now we haven't done this purple scene yet, but it means very soon. Okay, we will study this thing in the next section inshallah. It means very soon. Naktubu, I hope that you know now. Kataba yaktubu. All right, so if you complete the cycle all the way to nahnu, you're going to end up with nahnu naktubu. We are going to write, or we will write, or actually naktubu itself means we write. Okay, but if you have the suffix of seen, which means very soon, it's obviously going to be translated, or it's obviously going to be giving, it's absolutely going to give the idea of being in the future. Okay, so soon, or rather very soon, we will write ma yaqulu, whatever they say, or I'm sorry, whatever he says. Okay, so sanaktubu ma yaqulu, nay, or watch it, or beware. Very soon we will write, or we will record whatever he says. Okay, now you can start understanding these things just by looking at them, and if you just if there's a new word for you, then of course you can simply take a glance at your translation, and you're going to find the word that you're looking for, and you can of course mold it according to your grammatical knowledge. Okay, so even if you simply see that we record, then you would know that this is the thing that is being talked about. Okay, so that's how you can practice your vocabulary things and translation stuff. Next example, kalla. This little circle, by the way, means a little bit of sukoon. All right, or simply you are going to uh, just take it as a punctuation mark. All right, you're not going to find this in the Quran Pak, of course, but just to segregate different parts of a sentence or a statement, I have arbitrarily placed this symbol here. Okay, all right, so it's like a comma. You could take it as a comma. All right, La wazara. Now you know what this fragment or this formation means. La wazara. If you know the word wazarun, you can very easily understand what this la wazara implies. So you look at the translation, it says no refuge. So you understand that wazarun means refuge. Okay, and your vocabulary boosts up. So wazarun is refuge. La wazarun would be no refuge, but 99.99999% of possibility has been eliminated. The possibility of having a refuge of 0.00001% still exists. So to eliminate that little bit of possibility, you use la wazara formation. So you're going to say, beware, there is no refuge of any kind in any capacity, and you know, so you can't exactly capture these things, but you can understand and feel this thing if you know this pattern. La wazara, no refuge of any kind. All right. Then next you've got the example of kalla saya'lamuna. Once again, this purple scene means very soon. Okay. Ya'lamuna, you know what ya'lamuna means. It means uh, present tense, and ya'lamuna is they know. Okay, all of them know. So hum ya'lamuna. All right. Then if you make it attached or you attached with sa, then it's going to be in future tense. So very soon they will know. Okay. Kalla adds stress. All right. So it's going to be no. Very soon they'll know. Okay. That's the essence, or that's the implication. Now, what about the negation of the previously mentioned statement? For example, if Mr. X says that I ordered a pizza, uh, then the other person, Mr. Y, would negate him. He'd say that nope, you didn't order a pizza, you ordered barbecue. Or he's simply going to say kalla, which means nope, you ordered barbecue. Okay, so that's another usage of this kalla. Next you have bala. Now bala is quite an interesting word and it means yes. Now this yes can either be a genuine yes. For example, alastu. Now no, you should know this lastu now. Alright, this is the uh, ana form of laisa. Okay, so and then you've got question with it. So alastu, am I not? This is what alastu means. Okay, birabbikum, you rub. All right, now this is the scenario of when all the spirits and souls were created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he took covenant from us. That covenant means promise. All right, so he took a covenant from all of us, that, and that's when he asked that, am I not your Rabb? And then we said very obediently that indeed, yes, you are our Rabb. Qalu, all of them said, Bala, indeed. So this is your genuine yes. What's the other possibility of using yes? Be sarcastic. Okay, so I have either, it can either be used as genuine yes, or it could be used as a sarcastic yes. Okay, Bala. Now, when do you use sarcastic yes? Let's say, for example, you've got a friend or you've got a class fellow who is really good in studies and has been taking distinctions throughout the academic journey of theirs, and they come to you after their exam and you ask them how the paper went, and they say that the paper went pathetic. You are simply going to scoff and you're going to say, yeah, right, right? So at that moment, you could even say, bala, all right? Sarcastic yes. So this is what you can see here. For example, there were some people, for example, who had indulged in darkness and in bad things throughout their life, and when they are questioned about it, they say, no, we never indulged in bad activities. Then you're going to say, lol, sure. So that lol, sure is actually from bala. Okay, ma kunna na'malu. Na'malu is your nahnu na'malu. Okay, min su'in. Su'in means bad activities. Bala, sure. Okay, so this is the usage of bala. All right, now some specific words. Lam. All right, now this lam is going to be used with the present tense. All right, but it is always going to give you a meaning in past tense. Okay, so lam means never but was. Okay, so as you can see, lam yalid, lam yulad, lam nashrah, all, then you've got lam tara. All right, so all of these lams are used with the present tense patterns. All right, but they always give you the meaning in past tense. Okay, so it lam therefore means never was, lots of exclamation marks. Okay, so that's what I say here. They are used with pattern of present tense, but they imply past tense. Okay, and of course there are some changes that you are going to study in section D, and those changes are regarding the structure of fail whenever lam attaches to them. Okay, so as you can see even here, the actual word that you are used to is nashrahu, right? But you are going to find that there's a sakun on this ha, so it means that some kind of change takes place. Now what those changes are, we are going to study that in those changes in the next section, inshallah. Okay, at this moment simply remember that lam means never was, an emphasized negative, and it is used with the present tense, but it implies past tense. Okay, let's study the examples now. This is our surah Ikhlas, lam yalid, and then walam yulad. All right, roughly translating to he didn't. Now you see I've made these exclamation marks. This is what is implied by this lam. Okay, so he didn't give birth with lots of exclamation marks, and then he wasn't given birth to. Okay, now how can you remember that this lam means or is going to mean a past tense? By simply remember this ayah. All right, lam yalid wa lam yulad. All right, so of course past is being mentioned here. All right, in Surah Ikhlas. So if, and you never say lan yalid or lan yulad. All right, you're always going to say lam yalid, and this is referring to past. So lam means past. Okay, so because there is a counterpart of lam that means future. Okay, so we have never was and never will, and never was is lam. All right, next you have alam nashrah laka sadraka. All right, now this sadraka is muzaf alayh. All right, your chest, and then laka is for you, and then alam is a rhetorical question, and then nashra means to loosen. Now what does this loosening mean? It means that you know how you kind of feel that knot in your throat, you feel this kind of anxiety whenever you're anxious or in grief or worry, you, or whenever you are nervous, you form this tight knot in your chest. All right, and this is this huge discomfort in your chest. If that worry, if that feeling gets relieved, that means that the chest has been loosened, or simply nashra. Okay, so what does it mean? It means, did we not loosen for you your chest? That means that did we not relieve you of the anxiety, or did we not relieve you of the tightness or the discomfort that you felt in your chest due to worry, grief, or anxiety? All right, so this is what this thing means, and this has the stress that cannot really be captured in words. Okay, so you'll just have to understand what it means. Okay, alam nashrah laga sadraka. All right, so that's the kind of implication. Next, you have the word tara. Tara means to see. Okay, once again, since it's with lam, it has to be the present tense. But since it is with lam, it is going to imply past tense. Okay, so alam tara, did you not see? Kaifa fa'ala, how did he do? Now, kaifa fa'ala rabbuka is actually going to be said in one go. Okay, so alam tara, did you not see? Kaifa fa'ala rabbuka, how your Rabb dealt, or how your Rabb did, or how he dealt with, how your Rabb dealt with bi ashabil fili, with the companions of the elephant, or those people who had come with the elephants to destroy the Khana Kaaba, and of course everybody knows what happened to them. Okay, so it is kind of a rhetorical question. Okay, but understand the essence of this alam. All right, did we not, or did you not see what he did with that, with those people? Okay. Similarly, another example is lam taf'alu. Now, this is when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had challenged those disbelievers to bring an ayah similar to that of Quran, and then he said that فَإِن لَمْ تَفْعَلُوا, so if you are unable to do it, وَلَن تَفْعَلُوا, and by the way, you will not be able to do it. Okay, so that's the implication. lam تَفْعَلُوا, all of you did not do, for example. This is incomplete. That's why I've written the dots over here. I've made the dots over here. All right, and then finally, lam yati. Yati means to come. Okay, yati means he came, he comes. So lam yati, he hasn't come at all right, or you, since you've got marfu ism right next to this verb, you can feel, or you can simply see that this nazirun is actually your exposed file, so it's going to mean no example or equivalent has ever come. Understand these implications now. Okay, lam yati nazirun. All right, then you've got the counterpart of lam, which is lan. Lan is for never will. Lam was never was, and lan is never will. Okay, for example, no, not with examples. Commence first of all. So it is going to be used with a pattern of present tense, just like lam, but it is going to imply future. Okay, never will, but lam implied past tense. Okay, once again, there are some changes that accompany the usage of this word, and those changes are going to be learned in the next section, inshallah. Now, this gives a powerful stress. Okay, all right, examples now. Lan naspira. Now, this was actually naspiru, but since we have lan with it, it becomes naspira. Why and how, we are going to learn it in the next section, inshallah. لن نصبر على طعام واحد. طعام واحد. I hope you have identified it at the very first glance as موصوف صفة. طعام means food, واحد means one. Alright, so one type of food. So this is what the people of, or the followers of Hazrat Musa had said to him when they were giving, when they were given the manna wa salwa. Okay, so anyways, so that's when they said that lan nasbira ala ta'amin wahidin, we will not be patient with one type of food. Okay, so all right, the next example is lan tamassana. All right, now I have highlighted the glossary according, I've color coded the glossary, so I'm not going to spend much time explaining these things now, because by now you should be able to understand um, the implications and all these things by yourself. All right, the glossary has been color coded, and I would want you to pause the screen and understand it, try and understand it yourself. Okay, all right, so lan tamassana, or lan tamassana naru illa ayyaman ma'dudatan. Now this ayyaman ma'dudatan once again is your masuf sifa. All right, and tamassa means touch, and naru is your exposed file. Okay, hence rafa. All right, then what does it mean? It means the fire will so not touch us except for some limited days. Next, you've got lan yadkhulal. Once again, this was yadkhulu, but it became yadkhula because of lan. Okay, so lan yadkhulal jannata illa. Now, this is once again the incomplete portion of an ayah. Okay, and this little portion in itself means uh, won't enter the Jannah except, and then the people who are going to enter this Jannah are going to be mentioned after illa. Okay, so that's the idea. All right, and then you've got lan tafalu. All right, the one that I told you earlier about. So that's our lan. Then we have lamma. Lamma means two things. It can either be used for not yet, or it could be used for when. Okay, once again, it is used for the pattern of present tense but implies past. Okay, why? Because not yet is kind of a past tense. Okay, forget about this thing, so just simply remember that it means not yet. Okay, and that it is used with present tense pattern. And of course, there are going to be some changes that are accompanied with this word lamma. Okay, once again, section D. All right, now, and there may or may not be any stress. Okay, so the examples include Lama yaktub Zaidun. Zaid hasn't written yet. Lama tatlu ash-shamsu. Now, this is actually tatlu with a sukoon on it, but since we need to join this tatlu with ash-shamsu, all right, we decided to chuck this sukoon away and we replaced it with a kasra. Hence, it became lamma tatlu ish-shamsu. Okay, the sun hasn't risen yet. Next, lamma yadkhulul imanu fi qulubikum. The faith hasn't yet entered your hearts. Okay, now you can understand these things on your own, inshallah. Lamma yazuqu, they haven't yet tasted. Okay, and then this is only a part of the ayah, so I've got these dots over here. Falamma amba'ahum, so when he told them. Now here, lamma has been used in the meaning of when. All right. Then you've got some negative combos, and first set of combos is alam, alaysa, ala. We have very briefly studied them in the previous lesson, in the questioning lessons, that is. All right, so in the 7th lesson, and we have already studied quite a lot of examples of alam and alaysa in this lesson too. So these two combos should not be stranger to you. Okay, they should not be new to you. All right, and you've got Allah. All right, we are going to see just a couple of we are going to study only one example for each of these combos. For example, قال ألم أقل لكم إني أعلم غيب السماوات والأرض. All right, now I would want you to pause the screen and study this example, because you can understand it now on your own. I have color coded the words along with the glossary, okay? So you should know what word means what. And I am not going to tell you where you are going to put the stress, and I'm not going to tell you what kind of fragments you are, looking at over here right now. So I want you to figure these things out by yourself now, okay? Next example. أليس ذلك بقادر على أن يحيي الموتى. Once again, أليس. And then not only أليس, you also have بقادر. Remember the first formation, all right, that we studied in lesson 8b? This is what is being mentioned here, observed here actually. All right, so you once again are going to pause the screen and you're going to try and understand this statement too. All right, is Allah not an absolute power that he makes, or that he make the dead alive? All right, now once again, this can only be understood. You are going to come up with a very empty translation if you try to translate it. Just try and understand this entire sentence in your own head. All right, next you've got Allah tatubu. Tatubu means to repent. So will you not repent? Will you not repent? That's what Allah tatubu means. All right, next you've got Halla. Halla means why don't you, or why doesn't. All right, and it is used to encourage or to discourage from a bad thing, or to encourage to do a good thing. All right, so for example, Halla amanta, why exactly are you not believing, or why don't you believe? This is the expression captured in Halla. All right, then you've got Halla taraktal khaira, why exactly did you quit the goodness? All right, why did you quit it? Tarakta means to quit. Once again, tarakta is your past tense. I hope you can very easily understand and identify these patterns. Lata means no longer, and it has been used once in the Quran Pak, so this is the only example. All right, once again, we know about come and how it can be a non-questioning come uh, whenever you see an ism with min. All right, and it's singular, so that becomes your non-questioning come. And I hope that you can now understand this example too on your own, okay, because I have attempted to make it really easy. If you would however want it to be easier, just let me know, and what kind of difficulty you find, and I'll try and address that too. And our final combo is Allah, and this simply means this concept. Okay, so we're going to spend some time here, and our example to remember or to understand this combo is this one, that what happened that you didn't do it. Okay, so what, instead of simply asking what stopped you from doing it, okay, it's just a fancier and a more stressful way of asking someone that what happened that you didn't do it. Okay, we do ask these things in English too. So that, and then you've got your blank, then don't, and then blank, and then question. This is the kind of thing that you're going to observe here with Allah. All right, now, ma mana'aka, ma, this is your questioning. Ma mana'aka, what stopped you, is means when. Ra'aita hum, ra'aita is past tense for seeing, when you saw. Okay, ra'aita anta ra'aita, when you saw whom, all of them. Zallu, indulged in darkness. Allah, that. Tata by okay, tata bi ani. Now this ani is actually, wait a second. This thing here is this. All right. So this is your nasab form of ana. Remember the various kind of ya mutakallims that we did in section A. This is what this thing means, and we have simply omitted this ya mutakallim, and this is quite a common practice. Okay, and then we end up with this kasra over here. Okay, because other than this scenario, you are almost never going to find a suffix that has kasra on the noon. Okay, so if that happens, try and study that word and the situation if it is actually that ya mutakallam thing. All right, tattabi'ani, did not Allah tattabi'ani, that you didn't follow me. Okay, I'll need to. All right, what stopped you when you saw them indulging in darkness, that you didn't follow me or follow my instructions? All right, now this is once again a rhetorical question, and how we ask rhetorical questions in English is by saying that what on earth stopped you from following in my footsteps when you saw them indulging in darkness? All right, now so this is what Hazrat Musa والسلام, has said to Hazrat Harun when he had left them for 40 days and the Israelites had indulged in darkness again. Okay, so I hope that you can understand this question, this rhetorical question, and the structure here as well. Our lesson about the negatives has alhamdulillah completed. If there is anything that you need more clarification upon, simply contact me via inbox or just comment, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can, inshallah. Okay, now you need to go to the worksheets and practice this entire thing. Barakallahu li wa lakum fil Qur'an al Hakim. Allah Hafiz.